had a very upsetting moment yesterday. I was driving to do something, or to go to the AA, that's right. That's not Alcoholics Anonymous, that's the Automobile Association. And I saw what looked like wriggling in the road, and I realised, oh my goodness, it's a pussy cat, a cat. And he's been hit. I was in moving traffic behind me, no way of pulling over on the left, not easily. A truck coming the other way, and he was slowing down and stopped. And I was going slowly now, while the traffic was, going at that speed, and I was going a bit slower. And he got out, wonderful chap. He stopped all the traffic behind him. And, by now I was past the situation, and do I pull over somewhere down the street, do a U-turn? It's too far to walk back. How do I get back? It's actually not my problem. And I'm wanting that to be the case, of course, with all my heart. Because I don't know what's to do for the best. How do I visualize taking this cat in agony to some vet somewhere, and what happens then? I don't know. This is a good outcome. In the turn of the moment, it was too much for me. And my heart, my worry was considerable pressure on me. And then, well, it came to me, thank goodness for this lovely chap who's dealing with it. Bless him. Oh, so bless him. What a fine chap. I thank God there's such wonderful people in the world. And perhaps a lot better than me. And, I put my mind to continuing what I was doing instead. But of course, it's sort of in the back of my mind, on and off, during the day, and even now, you see, the following day. What's it? Nearly 3 o'clock in the morning. And it occurs to me again. Well, my way of dealing with it was, in some sense, to trust it to God. I'm not up to every situation, I know this. And perhaps I will be in the fullness of time, but I'm not there yet, and I take consolation in the fact that God knows I'm a child, and I know I'm a child too. Not the full maturity yet of the goodness I wish to be. All of us are like this here. That's why we're still here. In some degree, we're all like this, more or less. We're children, and God isn't. And I trust it to God. There is appalling evil and unhappiness and badness in the world. I can only trust it to God. I cannot change most of it. Little things I can, and it's within my ability somehow to do, and I do. But small compared to what might be needed quite often. Well, not too often, hopefully. It occurs to me too, of course, the obvious things. Well, the cat, you're worried for the cat's welfare. But the cat, dare I say this, well, it may be the case, put it that way, it may not be. that God knows that the cat needs to suffer to know what suffering's like and how much he doesn't like it. Now, he's been born as a cat, of course, into an experience and a culture, cat culture if you like, of tormenting creatures and killing them, causing much harm. And there's no comprehension in his mind of empathy and sympathy for his victim. And now he's experiencing suffering. That has an incredibly repellent effect on him. Of course, nobody wants to suffer. They flee for it with all their heart and mind. And so this cat, this life form, seeks a better option. I don't know whether that is in some sense in the next life, whatever that is, in whatever situation, or if God has something else in mind. I just trust it to God. I can do no more because at present I don't have the spiritual resources to do better. So it is our facility of coping with living in this world of good and bad, evil if you like, and trust starts to develop a relationship, of course, and the relationship with God is the answer. Well, ultimately that you see God as loving and all-powerful in your life. And this view, this consciousness, has an incredible effect on how you develop spiritually. So perhaps this is the way. Taste and see. It doesn't seem to be ideal to us, especially early on. There's all sorts of murmurs and concerns. But as you experience the difficulties of life more and more, in a sense, like I still experience occasionally this sort of situation where there's a creature that's so hurt, and I really don't see what I can do for the best. I just long for this creature not to be being hurt. So I have to leave it with God in some sense. I don't know what to do for the best. Do you put this creature down? Oh gosh, I don't want that scenario to have to cope with. I just so long for this not to be. Well, that's all right, love. That's fine. Leave it to me. I am God, not you. And I still love you, of course. And to know that makes you love God all the more, and starts to give you the understanding and the wherewithal to do better and better. Not to necessarily do something that's way beyond you, of course. I can't feed all the poor of India, say. It's just not within my power. But it does help me to be compassionate and to help where I can, rather than not. And that's all that has ever been hoped of you by God. That you may move and develop in the right direction and become an adult eventually, graduate to a permanent life eternal, abundant life. and possibly not in this realm at all, in some other realm that we would call heaven, but is very much hid from us at present, lest we enter in a state that's not truly what we want. And when we experience living here, we may, by the grace of God, come to want and therefore graduate. And if we don't and we need somewhere worse, perhaps that's what happens too. I shudder to think of such. And don't need to. I choose the way and trust that he will do the rest, and love him all the more and more because of it. How wonderful. Thank God. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.